You guys ever have a project that's so unhinged and you just keep sinking money into it thinking it's going to get better and it kind of never does? Yeah. 3 words there. XPS. Extra pricey shit. We're gonna get into it and we're gonna talk about it. So what I'm here for today, I will see if I can get a camera going for that. Probably the one you're looking at. This is my Dell XPS 7390 2-in-1. Now, as we speak, I'm going to disassemble this thing. We'll get you in position here in a second. This device was one I bought when I went down to the I use surplus video. You know, I'll link it if I remember. I mean, Editor Joe is terrible. Fuck that guy. He will probably forget, and it is what it is. Anyway, this device was kind of one I saw and was thinking about travel. I have way too many travel machines. Typically, I just find whatever clunker I have laying around and take it with me. A couple of years ago, I got an iPad, which kind of defeated the purpose of all of it. However, I am more of a laptop guy than a tablet guy. Always have been. And so it's always kind of been one of those things where I've never actually sat there and tried to usually take one of these. I had an i3 Inspiron that I took one time that the hinges snapped, and that was the end of that. I had an i3 Lenovo. It's like an E570 or whatever, and that was supposed to be a thing until its battery drains overnight uncontrollably, and I can't figure out why. Stuff like, I don't know, I've probably had a couple other machines. So this was going to be that machine. It's not going to be anymore, because I have a laptop in there that we'll talk about it another day that I bought for that reason because of how much of a piece of shit this thing's been. If you learned anything from this video about XPS, they are premium devices, but they are also premium pains in the ass. I have pretty much found over the course of dealing with this machine, I would never buy it again. Now, let's get into the teardown at the least. Hopefully that comes across okay. Get some of these cables out of here. I was working from home the other day, so I've got cables and switches strewn everywhere, and things are kind of a mess. I need a better recording setup for this too, but, you know, it is what it is. So what we have today here is a replacement power button. So I had a multitude of things that went wrong with this thing the other day. Let me see if I can remember. These are Torx. That is a power button. It's actually a separate module. Because this thing has like a Goodix for fingerprint sensor that like is completely incompatible with Linux. Much like the webcam. This is going to be a common trend. I actually got a buddy of mine that I chit-chat with online who also has, I think this is a 7590. I don't remember him having nice things to say about it either. By the way, not sponsored. This Fantic is awesome. I would happily take a sponsorship. Fantic, I hope you're listening. I fix it too. They're also great. Y'all need to sponsor me. I'm a poor man. And we're going to do the scientific measurement of just basically grabbing screws out of the chassis and yeeting them off to the side. Super scientific, I know. Effectively what happened in the last disassembly of this, and I did not have it on camera, I was having some issues with the machine, but overall things were going okay. Let me get in here. Until I had gone out to the garage and had recorded, I'm pretty sure it was the scam video. Yeah, it was my mother getting scammed video. Mother-in-law getting scanned video. And I recorded that audio on this machine. I had offloaded the footage already, thankfully. But I had footage from this camera that you're watching through. And so when you look at this thing, oh, it's got this little slot here. Well, it looked kind of like SD. It looked a little bit like SD, to be honest. You know, if you take a look at it, it looks a little bit like an SD card slot. Do not be fooled. That is SIM. That is a cellular SIM card slot. And I jammed an SD card into it. Because I'm smart. Honestly, I was tired. I was trying to edit a video for you guys. And what it ended up turning into was an utter shit show. Now this will come off apart very easily. This thing's been apart a couple times now. It will not fight me. I also learned, in fact I still have the scar from it probably right there. I don't know if that'll show up on camera. This thing's edges are not deburred. So while disassembling it the last time, I also proceeded to utterly annihilate my thumb by slicing it open on raw aluminum. Thanks, Dell. Yeah, see, that comes apart so much easier now that I've been in and out of here a few times. So the gimmick here was that this card slot here is now damaged because it's for SIM cards, not for SD. Why would Dell do this? I don't know. They didn't label it, and of course I don't have the instruction manual. So that was a disaster. In the process of getting it back together, you'll note something is missing over here. Let me see if I can pull it back. It should have this module. And unfortunately, it does not. And it don't because I ripped it off. So it literally is damaged. I don't even think I kept the old. Maybe I did. It's just around here somewhere. Anyway, I basically irreparably ripped that cable in half. When I originally did it, Dell is stupid. And we can't just have the same head everywhere. We have to change head partway through. This is, again, I don't know who was engineering these, but they need their head examined. So I unfortunately damaged that port, which was unfortunate. So I had to take the board out in order to get that SD card out. My wife and I actually went at it for quite a while trying to get it out of there. Finally, after taking the board out and some other creativeness, we did manage to get it out of there. I also found, was not me, someone previously had this thing apart, and that someone left a screw lodged up under the motherboard. So that might have been half of my issues with this thing, having performance issues, throttling, running hot, randomly just having a cow in general. Probably was being caused by a screw grounding out on the motherboard. Okay. Remember, kids, you should put these in a magnetic tray and not what I'm doing. But I'm an adult and I can break the rules because that's allowed. So that battery's out. One other thing to note about this thing is this is also your CMOS because that's how stupid we are. Yes, you heard me correctly. This thing has no physical CMOS. It also will not boot without a battery, which is the level of stupidity we have gone to today. To reinstall a fingerprint reader, I believe the motherboard has to come out. I'm not positive, but I believe I'm going to have to take the motherboard out. That's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to disassemble as little of this machine as possible because I already have multiple holes that are stripped out. And I don't know why. Again, previous owner, somebody at IU had been in here as I found out. So there's the USB-C reinforcement cover. I love how we reinforced this one, but not this one. Can I just point that out for a minute? So this hole and this hole are completely stripped. I could not get anything to bite in there. Don't know why. Now the other thing that holds this motherboard in is this reinforcement for the LVDS cable. Now, one interesting thing from an engineering perspective, there are 2 of these LVDS style DisplayPort connectors. I don't know if it's DisplayPort, but these LVDS connectors. So to drive this 4K screen, they had to do 2 display signals. And I'm guessing there is something here on the board that mixes those together to make the picture you see. Kind of fascinating. Long story short here, I need to pop this up and take this cable out because this is no longer required. Oh my God. I don't know if it'll focus, but that is some groat. That is some actual ass cheeks on there. Multiple levels of ass cheek. In theory, this board will lay up. Oh, I see. I've got one more in the corner. I didn't see. Yeah, because there's only like one of these motherboard screws that was left. And like I have the other screws that came to this with this thing, but like I couldn't get them to bite in there, but they're all the same. They're all these metric, what does that say? 1.6 by 2.5. Okay, so we're going to pop this ribbon. So we are just going to lay this up and over so we don't have to unplug it. Now here's your fingerprint button. And it looks like it is 1 screw. Wow, that's stuck. Tiny little thing. So we're going to try to get this shield up in the most nice way possible. I'm hoping it won't be rude. Because here is your button. Here's the cable. And it looks like it just, I guess, pops out. Okay, looks like there's some metal retention. It looks like the new one comes with it. So here's the button. And the absolutely massacred by your boy cable. Junk. So now we do the same thing in reverse. So you can see it's like its own cutout here. You can even see the touchscreen. The guy I bought this button from, at least for the, $20 I paid, at least did provide a screw to install it with. So drop this down in the hole. I'll use his screw. It looks fancy. I'm sure it 100% makes the non-functional fingerprint reader work. Actually, no. Doesn't seem to. I'm going to run this in a little manually. Or did I grab the wrong screw? I think I grabbed the wrong screw. So yeah, it looks like it was held in originally with a little adhesive, which obviously I don't have anymore. So we're going to do that. We will now flip over. I would like to stick a screw into the motherboard. I know I could be actually using the features of the screwdriver. If I find the other screws for this thing, I will try to stick one in here or something. I'd like to have a second screw in here, but okay. Now, originally this would be taped here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get some double-sided tape. I think a real nice short piece of double-sided tape on that will work great. A little overkill on the size here, but we'll just fold it onto itself. So make it quadruple-sided tape. I don't know. You let me know in the comments. And, oh. Come on now. I hate these style of ribbon cables. Engineers that want to use those, I think, should just be court-martialed. So yeah, I am going to stick this as far over as I can. That way we're going to try to avoid damaging it for the second time because I can't afford to keep buying these. And I'm hoping when the shell goes back on, that basically this will go on. Okay, I'm going to put in the screws I do have, but obviously that ain't great.
This is fine.
Good and snapped back together. And then go back to the communist bit to put all the case screws back in. I'll give it a once over clean because it is a little dirty from sitting on my desk. And then we'll kind of try and wrap this up a little bit. Talk about the device itself a little bit. Some of my gripes and overall kind of my thoughts. Now that I have a working power button, that is really handy. Gonna get into the BIOS. Welcome to the sidecar view. It's gonna want to do a full BIOS cycle, isn't it? Date and time not set. Sounds like a skill issue. So we're trying to wrap things up here. I had to re-record this because the audio disappeared on me. I don't know how that works. Don't ask. We're going to go into the new system information app, and this is kind of where I'm going to tie it up from here. So like I said, I bought this back when I went to IU. I've got Linux Mint Debian edition on it. I did initially put the regular Mint edition on here. However, I decided later on, due to not originally wanting to travel with this thing, I might still do some traveling with it. Now it is my LMDE testing machine, and by that I mean it takes the brunt of the stupid stuff I do before everything else does. It's a reasonable machine for that. It's thin. It doesn't get the best battery life because the battery's a little shot. In fact, if I pull up the power statistics, it's, you know, yeah, it's pretty topped out at the top. But otherwise, I really like this device. Unfortunately, on Linux itself, the fingerprint reader is non-functional, though touchscreen works. And the other real unfortunate thing for now is the webcam does not work. No good way around that. Between those two things, the keyboard is not that great. But the screen, if I can type, is a 4K screen. You'll note I'm not running it at 4K. But it's for performance reasons. These iris graphics and scaling don't work out too well, so I'm just running it at the 1920 by 1200 for now. Maybe Wayland will make that better, but 13-inch 4K makes no sense. So that is what it is. hope you all enjoyed my little bit of a ramble on this device. Apologize for the audio here at the end. It's just laptop audio. And I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.